Have you ever thought, man, I suck at Lord of the Rings Online? Today, I'm going to be running down my top 10 ways to suck at lotro, regardless of whether you're a new player or a veteran raider. I'll give you some tips and tricks on how to, well, not suck. But before I can tell you all the juicy secrets, please make sure to hit that subscribe button as it helps keep this channel going. 10. New players should not spend money at the auction house on new armor or weapons. The reason being that in a couple of levels, you'll be getting new armor anyways. Save your money for later down the line when you need to repair your armor after dying, or even for the mortgage of your in-game house. If you're following the epic questline, you'll get more than enough gear from that to keep you satisfied. And if you're missing a piece or two, ask in trade channel for help. A lot of times people will volunteer to make you things if you supply the raw materials, or roll an alt to craft it yourself. The only time you should be visiting the auction house as a new player is to sell off crafting materials. You'll be surprised at how well raw materials sell. No need to spend time crafting stuff that people aren't going to be buying anyways when you can just sell off the raw materials. 9. Leeeroy Jenkins. Have you ever been in an instance with a group and there is that one player? You know him, the person that could care less about everyone else. They will run ahead and pull the mobs before everyone is loaded and ready. They'll stand in puddles, get hit by giants, and get killed by stakes, and then claim that they're not getting any heals. Don't be that guy. If you're in a group and act that reckless and inconsiderate, you're going to stay, well, dead until I feel inclined to res you. I'm not wasting precious reses and resources on someone who cares nothing for the rest of the group. It is customary to wait on a ready check from the raid leader and wait until the raid leader says go or the raid leader starts the pull. Do not assume that the ready check means everyone is ready to go. I've kicked people from my raids before for being this careless. 8. Lotro automatically keybinds all of your skills to your keyboard. Trust me when I tell you that if you want to get better quickly at lotro, to stop with the point and click and get used to keybinds. Yes, it will take some getting used to, but in the long run, it will give you a way more satisfying experience in game because your reaction times will be a lot faster by typing than it would be with point and click. Now, whether you use a mouse with 24 button selections or your keyboard for skill and mouse for navigation, that depends on your personal preference. But players that point and click often struggle to get past certain skill checkpoints because of reaction time issues. Do yourself a favor and learn how to play with keybinds from the beginning. I wish that I had done this, as it would have saved me a lot of headache trying to relearn how to play with a 24-button mouse and gamepad. 7. Every group, whether 3-man, 6-man, or 12-man, will expect you to have basic raid supplies. If you show up without any raid supplies, you will feel, well, teeny tiny when the leader calls for you to hope and scroll up, and then you have to give an explanation of why you do not have those items. By the way, if you can't craft these items, this is what you save your money for in the auction house. Or worse yet, you get feared into another group and cause the entire group to die because you forgot a fear pot. Basic raid etiquette is to show up with raid supplies regardless of what type of group content it is. If you want to be a hero, always bring extra supplies to hand out to that one person that forgets to bring their own raid supplies. 6. Using bots to farm for you or buying gold with real money goes against SSG terms of service, and you can get banned for doing this. This includes programming your own bots to farm mobs for you. There used to be a time during the Rohan expansion where people would sit to the north of Snowborn and farm the mobs there for XP and gold. Bot is a program that will go in and do all the work for you while you are away from the keyboard. Sometimes these people will then turn around and sell gold to players. Gold spammers used to be the bane of my existence on Lotro, but recently SSG cracked down on them and it's been months since we've had any gold spammers advertised in World. 5. Lotro is a massive game, and if you're a completionist, congratulations, you will never be able to finish all of Lotro. I know friends that have been playing for years and still have not completed every single quest indeed. I know there are solo players out there that will probably disagree with me about this point, but that's okay. I'm not going to tell you how to enjoy Lotro. That's the beauty of it. We can each play it however we like. But I will warn you that those who start playing the game with the idea of completing every single side quest and deed will burn out and give up on the game before ever leaving the Shire. If you've been trying to complete everything and are in doubt if lotro is the game for you, then just don't do it. In fact, if this is your first time playing lotro, I would highly suggest that you just focus on playing the epic questline. This will give you hundreds of quests and hours of enjoyment. Besides, you can always go back and finish the side quests later. They aren't going anywhere. 4. Valoring a character and then expecting to take that character into a raid. The problem with Valard characters are that you have no idea how to play the character. You've not benefited from the hundreds of hours it took to level the character, learning your skill rotations, knowing what skills to use in what situations, and what is your interrupt versus your corruption removal. Now yes, some skills like the latter do translate across all classes, but I can count those skills on one hand. I valored a Berg and was asked to bring it into Gwath T3 Boss 1 against my strong protest, but went along anyway against my better judgment. I have a hard time saying no to people. The only thing I was good for was standing in the corner trying not to get killed so that I could hit the raid-wide cleanse skill for the fear. So believe me, I get it. If you're going to valor a character with the intent of taking that character into endgame content, please spend some time first learning the character and understanding how it works before making others suffer through your learning curve. 3. Another way to suck at lotro is by pretending to know it all and refusing to read class guides and rating guides. I promise you will learn something when reading or watching these guides. Why not learn from other players who've already figured out the best builds, stats, skill rotations, and best in slot gear? It will potentially save you hours of gameplay and money if you spend a little bit of time with these guides. The raid guides will give you clear information on specific boss mechanics that you need to be aware of. At least you won't be a total noob if you stepped into a raid for the first time because you've done your research. Understanding a boss fight and understanding your role in that boss fight is equally important. Don't neglect one for the other. Your group will be expecting you to fill a specific role in the raid, and if those expectations are not met, then you will lose street cred and you will probably not be invited back. 2. Not constantly working on building out your character. Ignoring the class stat requirements and then insisting on going into a raid for which you are not geared up enough. Refusing to do work on deeds and getting your virtues up. Finishing up all deeds is the quickest way of increasing your virtues, which will positively affect your basic stats. If you neglect your virtues for too long, you will have a challenging time ahead with content, regardless if you are soloing or grouping. Now, you don't have to do every single deed, but focusing on your core virtues should be a top priority as you level up. 1. I know it's been a bit of a journey to get to this spot, and I've left this last one for the negative Nancys or the Karens that you will encounter. These are the players that complain after every single failure, that quits after only one pull because the group isn't meeting their requirements, or that are trying to take over leading the run without the current leader's permission. If you agree to join another person's run, then that person is in charge, and you listen to what they ask for and deliver to the best of your abilities. No one wants to play with the negative Nancys because we are all here to have fun, learn, and get to know each other, and of course loot. Have I missed any of the sucky situations that you've encountered in lotro? Please drop a comment below and let me know. Thanks for watching.